Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
I would be Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Even if I wasn't, I would be, because it's kind of awesome. Danny Bonaduce, life coach. Call right now at 1-800-252-1025. You can email the life coach at lifecoach@KZOK. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let us talk to a young lady named Pat in Redmond. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning, guys.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
All right. What can I do for you?
I'm not exactly sure where to start, but where we first lived, like 6 years ago, my mom had been addicted to pain pills for her back because she has chronic back problems.
By the way, if you're, and I'm taking some liberties here, but make sure not to judge her. That happens to so many people. So many people. They start off, junkies start off by taking the appropriate medication, and then doctors keep giving it more. So I don't know if this had to do anything with your question, but that's not her fault, okay?
Okay, well, she did get help for that, and so she's on a different type of medication now. And so I can't remember what it's called, but the one that you put in your tongue. So since then, she's
there's a bunch of those. You're talking about Suboxone.
Yeah, Suboxone.
And that's an interesting pill. So your mom's, or an interesting medication. So she's taking that. So what that does, basically, in its most basic form, is it takes any kick out of opiate or anything, like an opiate of any kind, like oxycodone and thing like that. It takes all the fun out of that pill. So you kind of wonder, well, why am I taking this if my family doesn't want to? It's not even fun. So that's the Suboxone. And by the way, great medication.
Yeah. So when we moved here, she started getting into alcohol, and now she drinks. It's progressed, and she keeps on drinking more and more, and now she's drinking more than 6 bottles of wine a day.
6 bottles of wine?
Wow. Yeah. So even the people at the grocery store, when my dad has to keep getting it, they're like, no wine today if he doesn't buy wine, because they expect him to buy it.
I'll tell you what, when I never drank wine, but I drank so much that I drank and shopped at 3 different liquor stores, so nobody would have any idea how much I drank. Not meaning I wouldn't go to this one day, and I'd go to this one another day. I'd go to both of them every day. But I wanted 2 or 3 bottles, and I'd go to one, and I'd buy one, and then I'd go to the one down the street. Your mom, I understand exactly what she's doing, so nobody knows how much she's drinking. And by the way, when somebody calls me up and tells me I'm drinking a 6-pack a day, and they sound like they're a wreck and they're scared, I don't ever want to say, don't be so nervous. It's okay. It's not. If you're afraid, be afraid. But I thought you were going to say she drank 6 beers, 6 bottles of wine.
One bottle of wine I would be devastated for a week.
That's serious, Pat.
Functioning, though, is the weird thing. She can do stuff, but now it's like at the point where she seems like she's always drunk. Like, I have to drive her places. I'm 18 and my sister's 20, and we're both like living at home right now. And so
I'm sorry.
Like my dad and I are the only responsible people.
Did you just say you're 20?
No, I'm 18. My sister's 20.
Okay, cool. All right, so I think I got a handle on your life as best I can. What's your question? What do you want to know?
I don't know what to do about my mom. My sister thinks it's like a gigantic problem and it's ruining her life. And on the other hand, I'm just worried about my mom's health, and so I'm not sure what to do about her. My sister wants to call in like the police and say that she's harming herself and like take her away to rehab. But I feel like this is not the solution.
Funny, Pat. Out of spite, and I don't mean this at all. But if I was sitting in your house and your drama queen sister was giving me a nightmare, and I'd go, all right, let's get this deck of cards out there. Call 911 right now and say, my mom's out of her mind. And they may come because they won't even, but then they'll go, this is not my job. This is your job. This is your brothers and sisters' job. So you can't call the police. So that one's out of there. So can I offer you some advice? Well, this is why you called me. I will give you some advice. Here's my theory about your mom. She takes Suboxone because she wants to get better. I take a medication because I think your mom will say, like me, she really can't stop drinking. Like, we went out with Sarah and G-Force last night, and people were having drinks and things like that. I'm no special guy. I'd have had drinks so fast, I'd take a medication that would make me violently sick, for sure in the hospital and possibly the morgue. It's called Antabuse, and I think you might want to talk to your mom and her doctor about this. It's not like Suboxone, where she can take it and then take as many opiates as she wants. If you take Antabuse and try and drink one bottle of wine, one glass of wine, you'll be really, really sorry. But your mom shows evidence that she would take medication to make her better. So I think she should have a long talk with you, who are a wonderful kid, by the way, and her doctor about the wonders that is Antabuse. I take it. It's the only reason I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary. Only reason. I've been trying to get sober for 30 years, and I've now got 4 years. It's because I'd get sick if I drink. I don't have to use willpower. I don't want to get sick all over everybody. So talk to your mom and her doctor about Antabuse. And rock on there, Pat. You seem like a good kid.
Well, you've also brought up if somebody wants to stop drinking, especially to the tune of 6 bottles a day, she'll need a doctor's care anyway.
To get out of it. So, when I first quit drinking successfully, I don't remember what it was. Maybe Will know. He's good at this. You take an anti-seizure medicine because you could start having seizures because you're not giving your body booze anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, it was weird.
This is Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach, 800-252-1025. If you've got a question, now is a good time to call because Danny can help you. T in Federal Way, you are up next.
What up, T? You're cutting in and out there, T.
Okay.
There you go.
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got a friend who is extremely negative. I didn't realize this when I made friends with her, and every single thing I say to this woman becomes a negative in her mind. And I don't know how to combat that. Do you have any suggestions?
I do, as a matter of fact. My first question, though, for you is, why are you this lady's friend?
Well, like I said, I became friends with her before I realized she was a negative person, and now that I'm the only one that will deal with her, she comes to me.
And what, I don't want to sound like a doctor. I'll make that clear. I'm no doctor. But what are you missing in your life that you are willing to deal with her? Why you, T? Why is that your job to deal with this negative person's stuff?
Well, because I was kind of a underdog growing up in school, and I just don't want to, cut people off. Yeah, I want to give them a chance. And when I finally realized a person's not good for me, it's too late. They like me.
Well, I'm gonna suggest that you do this. I'm gonna suggest you hang in. You're right. You give people a chance. That's So here's my answer to you as best that I can do it. Yes, you should absolutely confront this person. Ask them why they do it. Because I will tell you this: if you're right, and I believe you are, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, this lady does not have a whole bunch of friends, right? You're kind of what she's got.
That's it. Nobody wants to be around her, and she feels invisible. And I want to just reach out to her and say, this is why. But I can't do it. I feel like she'll become more negative.
Well, you know what? At that point, you got to take your leave of this lady. But she has a lot on the line with you. You're her whole social calendar. So I think if you tell her the way you told me, you know what? I'm going to make up a name. You know what, Becky? You're so negative. It's difficult to be your friend. I tell you anything, you throw it back against me like a weapon. It's just not comfortable. Now, she's going to be negative right then and there. It's not because she's mean and terrible. It's because that's what she does. That's who she is. But I'll tell you this. When you start heading for the door and saying, I wish we could have made friends, she's going to realize, hey, that's everything in my social calendar. That's all my friends are leaving. I need to stop this. So, yeah, you definitely, T, you need to confront her. And confront's like a tough word. You talk to her and say, what is up with you in this? I try hard to be your friend. Just say it, lay it on the line, and see if you two can't work it out so you can do what you do and hang in there. Thank you, T. I appreciate that phone call very much.
We've got time for an email on Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. This comes from Marion in Auburn. I found an adult magazine between my son's mattress and box spring. He's 13, so it wasn't that much of a shock that he's curious about girls. Instead of throwing away the magazine or confronting him about it, I put it back. I guess I wanted to gather my thoughts and postpone the confrontation. Now I'm obsessing over the porn he's sleeping on. Is it possible to just let him have his space? Am I being a bad parent by trying to let it go or by not calling him out on it? What do you think I should do?
Okay. If you call him out on even the most nice way possible, if you go, hey, Timmy, what's this? With like that, like you found a doggy's bone, hey, no problem, little buddy. But what's this porn? He's going to melt down in horror and embarrassment. So I've got slightly different answers. If it's Penthouse, let him have it. So what? Here's the thing. There's when my son Dante, who is also 13 years old, was staying at my house, I no longer use a computer in my life. I just don't anymore, except for porn. And it's under the bed in the guest room. And so I said, Dante, here's your room. Have a lovely time. Bye. Then I went, Oh my God, there's a computer in my kid's room with horrible images on it. And he didn't touch it. But porn is not like what it was when I grew. It's vile and horrible. I'll tell you this, if it's like vile and horrible and things are happening to ladies and there's women on leashes and other stuff that you can only think of because I can't say that kind of stuff on the radio, a 13-year-old can't have that. He'll have a picture in his mind for the rest of his life. But if it's dirty, not even dirty, if it's naked pictures of nice ladies in Penthouse magazine, let the kid have it. He's 13 because he's going to freak out if mommy has it. No harm, no foul. And everybody's doing their job. You're a good mom. He's a good teenage boy. Fine. No problems. Hey, that's all the time I had. I wish I had more. A lot of fun today with Life Coach. That's all the time we have for Danny Bonaduce, Life Coach. Oh, awesome. Coming
Brought
up,
to you by?
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.